How's it going, Star Seekers? My name's Luke and welcome back to the channel, where today I'm bringing you a review of a rather odd little title known as Cowcatcher. It's an arcade game where you have to, well, catch cows. However, instead of using conventional means such as a lasso, you instead flap about the place in a wingsuit, tethering the cows to yourself before launching them into a drop zone. Now, if that concept seems just a little bit mental to you, it's because it is. So let's take a deeper look at Cowcatcher and see whether it's worth dropping a few quid on. And don't forget to like the video if you enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with my latest Switch reviews. So Cowcatcher instantly caught my attention when I spotted it on the Switch eShop, where it's available for £4.49 in the UK and $4.99 in the US. I always love checking out ludicrously weird games, and in this regard Cowcatcher certainly fits the bill, but don't go expecting any sort of storyline with this title because there just isn't one. Now, upon starting the game, you're shown around your office, which also doubles up as the game's menu, and while you are able to wander around it, there's not really much to see until you unlock a few of the game's special surprises, but we'll get onto those later. For now though, let's check out how the game actually plays. So in order to get down to a spot of cow rustling, you first have to select a level from this here world map. The game has 3 different modes for you to select from, these being Training, Arcade and Champions, and in Training mode there's no time limit, so you can just spend a bit of time getting used to the game's control scheme. Now, going by the game's screenshots on the eShop, I was half expecting to be base jumping off something and having to catch cows on the way down, and while that in itself sounds nutty enough, nothing could prepare me for what the game actually had in store for me. So when they said wingsuit, I wasn't quite expecting it to be this kind of wingsuit, but yeah, you basically control this fella and get to terrorise the local bovine population as you fly your way around the level flapping your arms like a madman. Now, the game's control scheme is pretty simple. The left thumbstick is used to turn your birdman, controlling his ascent and descent by pushing up and down on it, and holding ZL will increase your flying speed. The level of your flight is automatically maintained, so there's no messing about to keep yourself airborne, but you will need to avoid obstacles on the ground as the game will end if you collide with anything. Now, the right thumbstick is used to control the hand-shaped cursor seen towards the bottom half of the screen. In order to actually grab a cow, you need to hover this hand over them and then hold the ZR trigger until the yellow bar down there turns blue, after which the cow will become tethered to you, and it's then your job to transport it safely back to one of the level's cow pens, though you can test your skills and try and launch the cow into the pen from a distance. In all honesty, my cow tossing skills were pretty atrocious, and 90% of my cows just went careering through the air, totally missed the target, and then ended up flailing around on the backs like an upended turtle. Now, once you've had a bit of a practice and got to grips with things, you can then test your skills in Champions mode, which is a timed mode in which you have 5 minutes to return 10 cows to the pens. This is a reasonably easy feat since cows generally spawn quite close to the pens, but running out of time or crashing into an obstacle or the terrain will instantly end your run and you'll have to start over. In addition to returning cows, there are also floating coins which reward you with a bit of currency when you fly through them, and there are also 5 golden cow statues hidden throughout each level, which net you a decent wad of dough if you manage to find and snag them. Now, successfully completing a level will then unlock a new level for you to play, and while gameplay itself doesn't change, levels do provide a little bit of visual variety, ranging from the frozen tundra that is my home city Moonchester, to the desolate wastelands of Mongolia, where the sights include a pirate ship, giant toilet, and what appears to be a pair of sunbathing zombies. In total, there are 7 different maps in the game, which with all game modes combined, should offer at least a couple of hours worth of gameplay. Now, completing a level will also reward you with 5,000 cow coins, which can then be spent in the shop to purchase all manner of goods. You can obtain a selection of wingsuits, including this sexy little purple number, a bunch of different accessories which add things like wings, antlers or beaks to your character, And you can also unlock things called surprises, which add strange ornaments to your office, or activate odd little events such as this.
Everybody move. Moo, moo, moo.
Yep, I don't know what they were smoking either.
Moo, 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 moo.
So aside from the cow wrangling champions mode, you also have arcade mode. Challenging you to fly through all of the red rings in a level as fast as you can. This mode appears to have been inspired by Superman 64, and while the rings are a little temperamental, unlike Super Shy, you can actually control your character. Now the game's final mode can be found by playing the Cowlantis level, and this is a kind of endless high score mode in which you have to free cows from the clutches of UFOs, while avoiding collisions with all the other debris that spawns. I didn't find this endless mode too bad, but it does kinda lack any real challenge as the spawn rate doesn't appear to speed up, and if you do suffer from any motion sickness, I highly recommend you avoid playing the underwater version of this mode. So finally we'll touch on the subject of bugs. Now the eShop description does mention that there are likely to be lots of them, though I only really experienced a couple, the main one being that sometimes cows wouldn't tether to you after grabbing them, and I also experienced a bug where my guy just went absolutely apeshit and started flying out of control, which eventually resulted in me flying upside down before finally ploughing face first into the ground. So overall, I actually found Cowcatcher to be pretty entertaining. While it's clearly not the most polished of games, I still got more enjoyment out of just slinging cows across the screen than I did from some of the other shite that I've played this year. Visually, the game is pretty rough around the edges, but in all honesty it was completely expected and I felt that it just added to the game's charm. And on the audio side of things, while the in-game music consists of a single track which loops continuously and will likely get on your tits before you've even completed your first level, on the flip side, there is plenty of mooing for you to enjoy. Now when it comes to a rating, I was half expecting to be slapping a shovelware stamp of approval on Cowcatcher, but rather surprisingly I'm going to be rating Cowcatcher 2 out of 5 stars. While it isn't going to be a game you're going to be pumping hour after hour into, Cowcatcher still offers at least a few hours worth of entertainment, and if you're not convinced by its current price, then I highly recommend picking it up when it goes on sale. And that's about it for this review of Cowcatcher on the Nintendo Switch. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this review, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game in the comments section below, and as always don't forget to subscribe to the channel as I upload new Switch game reviews and content every few days. For now though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.